Okay, hello, greetings and welcome. This next video is on the topic of unification with energy. As your mind becomes more sensitive to energy, you experience more energy. So this is really important because sensitivity requires unification. Unification allows you to increase your influence over the energy as you feel more. So this leads to development of power, obviously. So with Qigong or energy work, you have to feel the energy to work with it. So you have to identify, I am energy. So this cognitive perception is very, very important. Now, anything that generates static within your mind is going to reduce the qualitative side of sensitivity and feeling. You feel less. So let's say if you're fasting, your body goes into ketosis. During that fast, your feelings are going to become more sensitive because food dulls the senses. And that's why so many different spiritual systems do fasting, where they'll take time out from eating and give their body a break. And they report all types of spiritual epiphanies, spiritual insights, experiencing divine states, because their body is in a fasting state. Now, ketosis replicates that fasting state, and it gives your body power. So when you research ketosis, you can choose, okay, how am I going to get myself into ketosis? Start with a fast, and your body will go into ketosis relatively quickly when you're fasting. And then from there, choose a ketogenic diet for the period of your training, and your feeling for energy will increase while you're in that state. You'll simply feel more. And over the last half year, I've been experimenting with various types of ketosis, and I found this to be true, that a ketogenic diet increases energy sensitivity. And no question about that. Okay, so sensitivity to energy. We have a dietary aspect, then we have environmental aspect. When you see more concrete than green, your mind moves out of a natural state into a contrived state, and it withdraws, it pulls into itself. Your space becomes very limited within your consciousness. And it's a survival mechanism. When you're in a concrete jungle, you have to withdraw to survive. When you're in nature, your mind expands into nature. It also does that to survive. From an evolutionary perspective, your mind needs to be sensitive to the environment to survive. When you're in a condominium, for instance, in order to survive, your mind has to withdraw so that the environment doesn't pollute you. So it's just an effect of the environment. So where you practice has a profound effect on you. Okay, so from there we move from diet, fasting or a ketogenic diet increases energy sensitivity. Then we go location, more green than concrete, in the forest, under the trees, where there's lots of vital energy. If spirit gets stimulated, increased sensitivity. Time, just before sunrise, between the clock changes according to year. Now, you've got a window 2 hours before sunrise. The first hour is meditation, the second hour is Qigong. And the finish is you welcome the morning sun come in, you eye breathe into your pineal gland from the morning rays for about 4 minutes. Practice is finished, head back home. So this quiet time, 2 hours before sunrise, to the rising energy time, 1 hour before sunrise, these are the two most powerful windows for practice. Okay, so we've got diet, we've got location, and we've got time. So what is the best time? And from there, we look at companionship. Are you practicing alone or are you practicing in a group? The types of people that you're with are going to have a profound effect on your sensitivity. If you have skeptical people with bad lifestyle habits, you're going to be contaminated by them. If you have people that are highly energy sensitive with profound spiritual experiences around you, they are going to open you up. Your energy is going to be much more sensitive to having profound, amazing experiences. So your friends are the path. So the people you practice with, very important. The people you take time with have a deep subconscious effect on you. So be very, very sensitive to this. Okay, so companionship, that matters. Now, your relationship to your practice. Do you actually believe in what you're doing? What are your subconscious patterns? What have your parents told you? I'm very, very lucky. My father was a psychic. He was very, very energetically sensitive. And for decades, we spent time together investigating the spiritual world. And he had a 155 IQ. So he's extremely intelligent, so you couldn't pull the wool over his eyes. He was highly sensitive to energy. He could see the spiritual world. He was a reader. He did tarot reading for people. So he's constantly validating his skill sets by being right or wrong. And so that type of friendship and being exposed to that type of energy allowed me to develop much more quickly because I didn't have any subconscious patterns infringing on me and saying, no, this isn't right, this isn't true, blah, 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 blah. My subconscious patterns were already in place that, yeah, don't believe anything till you validate to be correct, that you validate it to be true, keep an open mind, keep expanding, let the intellect balance the intuition. And having that as a fundamental model for how I think, feel and act in my life, this allowed me to develop very quickly at a young age. Where most people, their parents say, oh no, that's a load of nonsense. Now, their parents putting this in as a sort of kind of like an archetypal framework, building block for your thinking, you have to overcome that to get success with energy. So do your black and white mirror, really investigate the nature of your belief structures, have a very good look at what are my programs, what's running in the background. Okay, so the next area is moving from your subconscious belief structures to your conscious belief structures. Now, your conscious belief structures are very, very, how would we put it, a balance of your intuitive insights and your intellectual insights. These two parts of the mind are continually balancing themselves. And you intuitively sense something, then you're intellectually coming to terms with it. Now, as you develop the skill, you really want to, how do we put it? You really want to define your process as clearly as possible. What are the body mechanics of your Qigong? Willpower, breath, joint stretch, energy accumulates, you feel. Here's your body mechanics. What is the personality of the energy you're working with astrally, your middle dantian? Okay, I want to develop compassion, I want to develop love, I want to develop a healing frequency, I want to develop a clairaudient ability. Then you calibrate and tune your body mechanics to the outcome. And then what is the mental, the upper dantian, the responsibility? The frequency that you're concentrating on, the space that you're occupying, and the timing is in there as well. So you have all these qualities in place where your mental body decides, I'm going to concentrate on the frequency of love. These are the body mechanics. This is how much space I'm going to occupy. It's the general. It commands everything. It decides. So your upper dantian is what your mind pays attention to and your mind's ability to pay attention. Okay, so we have the three dantians in place, and we've developed an intellectual process of this is my mechanics, this is the personality, and this is my psychology, my regulating of time, space, and so forth, and the frequencies I'm going to concentrate on. And then there's something beyond that. There's an essence of faith. Every time you do a mechanical process in your body mechanics, in your astral feeling mechanics, in your mind mechanics, and you generate a result, there's an emptiness. Your Akashic blueprint accumulates a type of faith. This accumulation of faith is a predictor of future outcomes. So this essence is a very difficult thing to describe, but it's a compounding of, yes, this works, I am getting this outcome, and as you compound this faith, this spiritual essence in your etheric or Akashic body, you get better, you get good at this stuff. So this is ultimately the decider of being good or being great. How much of this essence of faith do you accumulate? And the only way to accumulate faith is through direct experience. The faith of believe in Jesus, he's your savior. That's not faith. That's a subconsciously programmed belief structure. You haven't accumulated any faith because you have no physical process, you have no astral process, you have no intellectual process, and you have no result. You're just being indoctrinated. So we're not talking about faith within the concept of indoctrination. We're talking about faith in direct experience to refining your mechanics, refining your astral mechanics, refining your mind mechanic, getting all these psychological processes to bridge between the three dantians, and for a final result to happen. This accumulates faith. Now, this faith, it feels like a nectar. And even though faith does accumulate physically, it does accumulate astrally, it does accumulate mentally, in the Akasha, it's a sticky, void-like substance. And I say sticky because the way the emptiness condenses with the self-fulfilling prophecy in it sticks to your mental, astral, and physical form. It's very difficult to describe a formless thing. But as it sticks to you, the way your particles of your physical form and your astral form vibrate in and out of emptiness, they're magnetically pulled in alignment with your faith. It's kind of like they're pulled in. They're changed. You change. So the accumulation of faith is subject to your effort, your understanding, your intellect, your feeling, your intuition, and your action upon this. So to become highly sensitive to energy, you need to take the whole range of these factors in, and there's many, many, many more factors. On my Vimeo channel, I've done a lot on this topic, but this one's for YouTube, so I'm keeping it relatively simple. Now, as you look at each facet of what generates success, and you start getting success, you're able to refine each factor. You'll be able to refine your friendships. You're able to refine your subconscious belief structures. You're able to refine locality where you practice. You're able to refine the timing of your practice. And in that 1 hour meditation, 2 hours before sunrise, and in that last hour before sunrise of doing Qigong practice, you'll find there'll be a rhythmic clock of I get more benefit of doing more vital power building closer to sunrise. And 2 hours before, I get more mental benefit of working with the mental body. So it's as if there's a rhythm moving from the mental through the astral to the physical, leading up to that sunrise moment. And you find what exercises are optimized to give you maximum benefits. So this is an intuitive intellectual harmonizing of I get the most return for my investment of time and effort by doing it in this way. Okay, so the last aspect we're going to work on is the 4 bases of power. And I've done a lot of work on this on Vimeo and on YouTube, but it needs to be gone over again. The 4 bases of power: discernment, attachment, will, and persistence. Discernment is half intellectual, half intuitive, them coming together to make a functional knowing of, I know how to do that. Because the intellect knows the process, the intuition knows the process, comes together and it's functional knowledge. So you discern, but the discernment can't distill without all the other bases of power in place. So the attachment is, in a metaphysical framework, you discern, oh, there's vital energy, then you attach I am vital energy, you identify that you are what you feel, then your will can influence what you are, what you feel. And then your will can move the energy in through the pores, it can move the energy out through the pores, and you'll find yourself coming into a higher level of power, into a higher level of control, a higher level of sensitivity. This discernment of the energy, this identifying with the energy, applying will to the energy, forms the persistence. The energy transforms and becomes what you want it to be. So you add a personality into that, your vital breathing, and you go, oh, I'm going to go more towards the magnetic phase of this energy. You relax and pull the joints open, as if you're grabbing something and pulling it towards you, but through the fascia. As you breathe into that quality, the magnetic gets stronger. Then if you move towards, I'm going to move towards the electric, you push the joints open, the energy will start to become more electric, expanding and radiating outwards rather than pulling inwards. So you can play with electric and magnetic fluids simply by adjusting your identity to an aspect of the vital energy. I am vital energy, I am magnetic, your body will start reflecting magnetic mechanics. I am electric, your body starts reflecting magnetic mechanics. And you'll find that what you identify with will influence the outcome of your experience. If you're Buddhist, you're going to have very Buddhistic experiences when you practice Qigong. If you have any religious belief structure, your energy will radiate through your beliefs to change outcomes. So have a very strong look at what do you believe? What is your self-fulfilling prophecy? That self-fulfilling prophecy is going to have an incredible effect on what happens. It will validate your beliefs. It'll make you find evidence to have those outcomes. It'll align you to them. You'll feel it. So your beliefs are your self-fulfilling prophecy. So be very sensitive to your belief structures. Don't believe anything, question everything, and develop yourself. You are your own master. Thank you for your time.